excited to dive in today, teach you guys what I've learned with YouTube, funnels, AI, all that fun stuff. So hopefully you guys are taking notes. I am going to give you guys some of the notes from this, and it is recorded, so you guys can go back and watch it. And it's recorded for those who weren't able to watch it here as well. So I'm excited about all of that. So let's dive in. So what you guys are going to learn today is how I focus on niches like YouTube, funnels, AI, all that fun stuff. Welcome, welcome. Grab some lunch in the back, guys. Oh, hey. So known as the investor agent, like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, creator of the Millionaire Mindset, which you guys will get access today. And then what else we got on there? Be Transformed is a book I'm writing. It's not done yet. I've actually changed the name, so I need to change that. And then over the past 4 years, I've been building a lifestyle that gives me and my family the freedom to do what we want, when we want, how we want, all that fun stuff. And that's the goal. And I believe that business owners, you guys are kind of like the lifeblood of this community, right? You guys are the ones taking the risks. You guys are the one providing jobs. You guys are the ones actually making things flow. And so, hats off to all of that. So a little bit more about me. I'm a big faith person. So I love Jesus. He's my Lord and Savior. Family. So family's everything. I got 3 little kiddos and my wife. My wife's been here her family's been here Nana's been here for 86 years now. So it's been here for a long time. Fitness, I like to work out, and then finance. So love investing in real estate, companies, all that fun stuff. So me and some partners, we just bought 31 units about 2 months ago. So this isn't about investing in real estate, but it is something I enjoy doing. All right. So I'm going to teach you guys how to get luxury clients, even if you tried in the past and failed. I'm going to teach you guys how to discover your superpower. I think everybody has a superpower. I'm going to teach you guys how to create content around the things that you actually enjoy. So when you press play, you guys should live your life in such a way that you could get paid to live it by just pressing play, right? So, and then how to use YouTube to take over a market. YouTube is one of the biggest search engines. It's owned by Google. When people type in whatever your industry is, like, you should pop up on YouTube. And if you're not, then we're going to help you guys do that. How to use AI. So AI can be a scary thing, but it's also the future. And if you're not embracing it, I do believe that you'll be left behind. So I don't think AI will replace you guys. I think people using AI may replace you, right? All right. How to use OPP, other people's platforms, to build your influence. So whether it's collaboration, all those fun things. So whether it's a podcast, getting on stages, all those things are great ways to collaborate. You're constantly having lunch. I'm in real estate, so lenders are always asking, like, hey, let's go have lunch. So leveraging that relationship, right? People are always trying to get your time. And so when you have that conversation, leveraging that conversation, right? All right, and then lastly, the new way to dominate a niche with funnels, right? So why this is important. So most of what you guys have learned about niches is dead wrong. The cost of leads are constantly going up. To scale your business, you need leads, and finding your niche will allow you to be hyper-focused and win, right? And then who wants to win 2024? I think everybody in here would want to win. That's why you guys are here, right? So it is for you. If you want to be the go-to in your industry and double and triple your business, this is for you. If you want to use video to dominate your market, this is for you. If you're worried about money in your future because of things shifting in the market, this is for you. All right. House rules. This isn't an opportunity for that's just not for me. This isn't some sleazy sales strategy or anything like that where you like falsely claim that you have high-end products, but you really don't, or lying about anything. If you're a liar, you guys can head out. This isn't a 15% implementation and not taking massive action. If you're like, hey, this is what I want, then you'll take massive action. I think the worst place that you can be is taking some action. There's some people who don't take any action. They're over here. And then there's some people who are like, yeah, I'm taking some action, so they feel like they're doing better than those people. And then there's the people taking massive action. And when you take massive action, you're going to get feedback loops. And so you're going to know how to correct a lot quicker, right? Okay. So confession, just like many of you, I didn't grow up with a lot. I came from very humble beginnings. We lived in a tent for a certain part of my childhood. It wasn't forever, but it was a little bit of my childhood. I think worst off, I grew up with a poverty mindset, a lack, right? Thinking like, man, like I can't buy that because, just like that poverty mindset, like thinking that you weren't good enough was kind of that where I came from, right? And so when I moved to Durango, I was working a job. I was working at UPS, and I absolutely hated it. It was 8 years ago. I don't know if any of you guys, when you first started off working a job that you absolutely hated, but that was me. And I was like, this sucks. And I was good at it. I was good at everything. I did commercial construction in college, built fences, did foundation. So I knew how to work hard. I was like, man, this just isn't for me. I was like, I can be working harder for myself. And I think a lot of you guys have probably had that conversation with yourself at some point in your life, right? And that's why you're here. And so for me, I came home and we'd been married for like 2 weeks. And I said, Megan, I quit. And she's like, you what? I was like, yeah, I quit. She's like, well, what are we going to do? I was like, well, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. She's like, okay. What does that mean, basically? And so I told her, like, hey, there's this marketing company my friend told me about. I'm going to start this marketing company. Some of you guys know me from that. And she's like, okay. So I went 0 for 56 in sales. That was how I started off. It wasn't good. And then I finally got a sale. And I was like, all right, I think I can do this. But I remember a mentor telling me, like, go find somebody with fruit on the tree and learn from them and let their ceiling be your floor. And that's what I've done in every aspect of my life. I have a podcast called The Bare Fruit Life, and I've gone and learned from other people who have had fruit on the tree, whether it's been in their marriage, their relationships, their business, their finances, all of those things, right? And some people may have fruit on the tree in one area, not in the other. So it's always, I want to become the best student. And that's what it's allowed me to have success. So I went on to make, 10 to 12 grand a month, and that was good. But I was really intrigued by real estate and real estate investing. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump into that. Except I went 0 for 12 on my test, which isn't good. And some of you guys are like, yeah, I don't know how you're doing it. But I would say my wife's like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I really do. And so I decided to jump in, and I finally passed my test, and I went on and made 222 grand my first year in real estate. And it wasn't because of what I knew or what I did. It was because I was willing to learn, right? I was willing to become the best student and take massive action. And since then, I've doubled and tripled my business every year, and I've been willing to learn from the best. And that's how we're kind of where we're at today. So, talked about
real estate agent. You became a real estate agent.
Correct, yeah. I'm still in. Say again.
What's your podcast name as well?
Bare Fruit Life or Bare Fruit Show. Sorry.
That's so awesome.
Yep, Bare Fruit Show. I have a new podcast called the Living in Durango. We've shot about 6 episodes. So we just sat down with Shane Seibel. He's over at the Tribe. If you don't know, the Tribe is they're the biggest. They provide the most jobs in La Plata County. They're a $4 billion debt-free company industry. They're doing some great stuff. So if you didn't know that, side note. So what you guys are going to learn today, here's the 5 pillars of what you guys are going to learn. So I'm going to teach you guys how to win the day, because you can have all the right stuff and you can have all the money, but unless you have the right mindset, then it doesn't mean anything, right? So I'm going to teach you guys how to get luxury clients, there's a couple ways you can grow your business, and there's a slide about that here in just a little bit. I'm going to teach you about how to brand you and become that celebrity in your industry or in your space. I'm going to teach you guys how to use AI. Like I said, AI is changing the industry, and what funnels and YouTube are actually working right now, right? All right. So winning the day. I start off by writing down what I'm thankful for every day. And it's just so you guys will get this. This is part of my Create a Millionaire mindset. I have a whole thing that I do every single morning, right? And so I'm not going to go over all that, but you guys do have access to that. And I know a lot of you guys have employees. So this is also for your employees, right? I think a lot of people, business owners, one of their biggest complaints in Durango is like, it's hard to have good employees, right? And it's probably because they don't have good mindsets. And so if you could help them with their mindsets, it's going to change everything. So I write down what I'm thankful for. And, I've been to 31 plus countries. Me and my wife, we did mission work and we traveled. And so I've seen people with nothing. I've walked through, people who have absolutely nothing. And I remember in Guatemala, it was my first month on this mission trip out of college after playing baseball. I went to 11 countries in 11 months. And when I went and did that in Guatemala, I was walking through this like trash village, basically. It was a dump. That was where they dumped, but they built their homes out of trash. And I was like, this is crazy. And this little boy named Lucia or something like that, he picked up like this little toy dinosaur, and he was so pumped, right? He was just pumped on life because he just found a little treasure. And they had like literally made less than pennies a day. And so I write down what I'm thankful for, because we are truly blessed just to be knowing how to speak English, 1, and 2, being in America. So there's so many things, even though America is kind of going downhill right now, we won't get on that. But either way, there's a lot to be thankful for. So I write down what I'm thankful for with my family, my kids, my wife. And then here's my letter to myself. And I believe faith comes through hearing. In order to hear something, you have to speak it. And so I have this letter that I've been reading to myself the last 6 years. You guys will get access to this. It's in that Create a Millionaire mindset. And it's changed everything for me, because it's changed my confidence. It's changed, the insecurities, all of those things, right? And so I'll read a piece of it. It says, well, I memorized it, but I'll read a piece of it. It says, pressure can bust pipes, but it can also make diamonds. Pressure is a challenge that will define you. It gives you opportunity to see how much you can take and how hard you can go. The payoff is worth it. Work through the discomfort. You'll survive. Then go back for more to make you great. Find a way to keep that pressure turned up by goal setting. Get on my level or get out of the way, holding up the number before and after I walk into the appointment like Michael Jordan. Get back up and keep throwing punches. You won't quit until you're dead. I'll be self-controlled, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. I'll be disciplined in everyday activity. I'll be selfless and think of others before myself in every decision I make. Let that lion out and get that killer instinct, and then it continues on. So you guys can read it for yourself. It's a template. You guys can make your own letter, but I encourage you guys to do this. Time, right? Time is the most valuable asset that you have. Whether you have $1 in your bank account or you're a billionaire, everybody has the same amount of time. And so I appreciate your time here today. I really am thankful for that. So time, you got to figure out what your IPA is, increasing profit activity, HLA, high leveraged activity. And that's why I'm sharing with you guys video today, because video will leverage your time, will leverage your activities and everything you're doing. So some of you guys got to figure out, what do you need to stop doing that's a low dollar activity, and where's your time best spent, right? And I've heard this, if you hire somebody, no one's ever going to do what you do as good as you, period, right? You care about your business. You're the one taking the risk, all of those things. But you have to figure out, like, hey, who's somebody that I can hire that can do like 70% as good as I can? And then who's somebody else I can hire that's like 70% as good as I can? Then you got 140, right? And if you give them the right mindset and you give them the right incentives, they'll make things happen, right? I wanted to give this fact. So 20% of your time makes you 80% of your money, right? So you got to figure out where you're spending most of your time. Where is that for you? And for me, it used to be making phone calls, right? In meetings, right? Now I'm shooting video because it leverages everything else that I do. And now when I'm sleeping, my video is getting watched, and I can be on vacation and my value propositions are getting displayed to everybody out there, right? So gifts, these are all for you guys. I think I sent most of you guys. How many people got texts and calls and emails from me? Everybody? Okay. Hopefully, sorry, Bob. I think Bob registered like 3 times, so he got like 3 of them out. And he's like, I'm coming, leave me alone. So this is all for you guys. These are all things that I've used to help me grow my business. So it's the Create a Millionaire Mindset checklist is what I have. The 30 questions. So I was actually driving down to go work out. There's a group of us that go work out at Santa Rita Park at 6 a.m. If you'd like to join us, then we do a cold plunge. You're more than welcome to join us. But we were going down there, and on our way, I was talking to one of my mentors, Michael, and I shared a little bit of that story. I don't know if any of you saw that video, but Michael was like, well, what's your next move? And I had no idea. I was like stumped. And he's like, you have to know your next move. You can't just like hope that you get there, right? And so there's these 30 questions that will probably take you a little bit of time to fill out if you do it right. And it will help you get super clear on what your next moves are. There's a book that was written, Know Your Next 5 Moves. And it's all about that. It's knowing like, hey, if this happens, then this is like, what if COVID happens again? What are you going to do, right? What happens if your best employee leaves? What are you going to do? Like all of those questions, right? What happens if this happens, if this happens? You should know. It's like a game of chess. You should know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, right? And then the perfect calendar. So that has to do with being organized and knowing where your time is best spent. And then the one-page understanding your goals, right? Being super clear on how you're going to get there. So it's really clear step-by-step on how to actually set goals. You got your 10 years, 5 years, and then your year. I know everybody's at a different place in your business. Some of you guys have been in business way longer than I have, and I have a lot to learn from you guys. And then some of you guys are just getting started. But regardless, these are all good reminders. Okay, finding your niche. So this is the interactive part in the live event. And so what we're going to do is called the gun to head method. We're going to throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see what sticks, right? And so I want you guys to write down everything that you like to do, everything that you're good at, everything that if you could get paid millions of dollars, you would do it every day, right? Don't think about necessarily your business. I want this to be things like, hey, do you like to cook? Do you like to boat? Do you like to vacation? Do you like to travel? Like, what do you like to do? Bike. All right, let me hear what some of you guys wrote down.
Fishing.
Fishing. All right, cool. So the whole point of this is, give me what else you wrote down.
Traveling, watching sports, playing poker.
Cool, awesome. So what happens in business is most of the time, everybody's like, buy my stuff, right? And the buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, right? And I know this happens for real estate agents because I've seen it happen in the store. I see someone, and then I see people realize who that is, and they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to that person. They're just going to talk to me about rates and interest, real estate and all that stuff, right? And so you have to come across with additional value, the things that you enjoy doing, right? And so what happens is you start to create a tribe of people who enjoy the same things as you, whether it's fishing or what else did you mention? Traveling, watching sports, all those things. So these are all like kind of like lifestyle, like YouTube ideas to interact with your database, with your clients. And I'm going to teach you guys how to unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in your database. That's all sitting there for anyone who's been in business for more than a year. You should have a database, and there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that are locked up in it, right? So it's like, hey, I enjoy sports, right? Hey, my son plays hockey, and these are the top 3 drills we do at home. Hey, I like to fish, and these are maybe you're not going to share your top honey holes, but maybe you say, hey, these are the top 2 places that, or these are the top flies that are working right now, right? And you send that out in a quick video, and people are going to interact with it. And it's the whole concept of value, 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 value. And you reap what you sow. If you put value into the ground, that's what you're going to get. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to do, is think differently, not just like, hey, here's how you clean your carpets. Like, people are gonna be like, okay, that's all right. But if you're like, hey, here's how me and my son practice hockey, people are like, oh yeah, we need to watch that. Right? And so they're interacting with your stuff. They're opening your emails. They see value beyond just carpet cleaning. Who else? Driving fast. All right. NASCAR. I was not expecting that answer from you. That's awesome. So you enjoyed, do you have like a special car, or you just like driving fast? Mini Cooper? All right. So, okay. See, that's interesting. I want to know more about you. Like I do. And so when you come across like that, like, hey, here, I enjoy racing cars, and then all of a sudden it's value. Other people, you know how many people like cars in this town? There's quite a few, right? That's an interesting market. And so if you can get connected with those people, the people driving the Porsches and all that kind of stuff, and you go to Cars and Coffee and you start sharing about more car stuff, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, people are interested in you. And regardless of what type of business you are, they're interested in you. So that's really, really what it is value, value, value. Anybody else? I'll do one more.
Talk with people, like build a relationship.
Okay, what else?
Travel, workout, challenge my mind.
Okay, cool. All good stuff. So coming across is like, hey, here's some of my top 3 communicating tips when I meet somebody for the first time, right? That's interesting. Here's how I remember someone's name when I first meet them. I'm terrible at that. I would watch that video. All of those types of things are interesting. And so it's value, value, value. And then you come in with the right hook. And I'm going to share what that right hook is in just a little bit. And it's going to unlock your database with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, 3 ways to increase your income, right? Sell more. Sell different products, same clients, or reach higher affluent clients, right? These are all 3 ways you can do it. It just depends, right? So sell more can be harder depending on the type of business you have. Maybe you kind of hit criteria. Maybe it's the manpower type of thing. Sell different products. That can be hard. I think I've heard 2 people starting different types of businesses, both in the construction industry. The affluent, this is probably the easiest key to unlock, in my opinion. And it's just here's the facts, right? There's less competition at the top. When I got into real estate, I wasn't scared to go for the $1 million listings because I had nothing to lose, right? Nothing to lose. Why not? My first listing, I listed a ranch. I listed a ranch, had no idea about water rights, wells, irrigation, nothing, right? Made $37,000 on my first transaction, double-sided the deal. Both clients were very happy, still friends today, right? And it was all because I was willing to learn and take a risk and go for that higher transaction, right? So I want to encourage you guys to think about that. How can you do that? And you don't have to drive the fancy cars to do all that kind of stuff. You just have to be relatable. And especially, I'm going to teach you guys how to really just understand some of the affluent trigger points and some of those things. There's some great books out there that I can share with you guys, but it's really, a lot of them have come from where I was, right? So they respect that. And so they want to help people who are willing to put in the work and want to make a difference. So I want to encourage you guys. So I'm going to teach you guys how to unlock Oh, okay. This story. So I sold the Silver Pick. Now it's the Diamond Lodge, and I did it with a YouTube video that was horrible, right? I'm going to show you that story. So so Chris, my wife and I, Megan, got married up at the Silver Pick 8 years ago. Just happened December 12th, right? So we got married. Chris was there, obviously, because he owned it. And so this is, I don't know, three or 4 years ago. I think I said 3 years ago. So 3 years ago. And I said, hey, Chris, when are you going to sell this place? When are you going to retire? And I don't even think he knew I was in real estate. I was like, I just got into real estate. You should let me sell this for you. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to retire. I said, Chris, come on, you're ready to be done. And he said, meet me up here next week. And I had no idea he was interviewing other agents. I really didn't. It was just like, long story short, get the listing. So I get the listing, and I have no idea what to do with the listing, but I'm like, hey, I think YouTube works. I've heard that. So I have my friends who are visiting from California shoot a YouTube video with my phone on a horrible gimbal, and I ended up getting the client out of Austin doing a 1031 exchange on the double-sided the deal, so you can do the math. We sold it for 3.6. It was listed at 4, and both clients are happy, right? And it was all because I was willing to shoot a video and put it on YouTube, and it was a horrible video. I should go pull the video and have it here so you guys can watch it. It was bad. Horrible lighting. It was all bad. I was new in real estate, all of those things, right? And so I believe that you guys, by shooting a video and having some value proposition and putting it on the right platform, you guys can attract clients, right? Okay. So how to market to the affluent, understanding your target. So men and women are different. So affluent women care about their security and will splurge to look younger and reset when life resets. I didn't make this picture up. my virtual assistant did, so that's a funny picture. But it's true. So understanding what ticks for your client, right? Understanding like, hey, if the baby boomer generation it's going to be the biggest transfer of wealth, and they're not going anywhere for a little bit, right? And they're wanting to spend their money. So how do you unlock that, right? So this is some of the desires that they have. And for men are more about status and cover up their insecurities with material items, right? So those are some of the things. So if there's a great book out there called No BS Marketing to the Affluent, right? And so he unlocks some of these things that are how people, how they think, how they buy, all of those types of things, right? So 3 secrets, the 3 secrets your product or service needs. So you want to make it easy, right? This is for the kind of that baby boomer generation, right? You want to make it an easy product for them to say, yes, I want that, right? You want to save them time, right? So how does your product save people time? And then thirdly, solid proof and guarantees. You want people to like, okay, you're saying it, but how can you actually back it up? So reviews, case studies, all of those types of things. If you're not recording past clients and some of the things that you've done for them, that is a mistake, right? People who are going to make high ticket item purchases are probably, a lot of your work probably comes from referral. I guarantee it, right? I would say most people say, yeah, my business comes from referral. The problem is that they don't have any systems and processes set up for their referrals. They're like, yeah, I just have referrals. And so I'm going to give you guys a golden nugget. You should have an advisory board. Your advisory board should be made up of your best past clients who are affluent in the community, who care about you. Maybe they don't care about you, but maybe they're a retired dentist or doctor or CEOs. This town is full of it, right? And so if you can put a team together of 3 to 4 people, you have them over to your house once a quarter and you ask them for their advice. These are usually social active people in the community. Now all of a sudden, when someone comes to them and says, hey, I need a new roof. Hey, I'm looking to build a house. Hey, I need a new car. Hey, our neighbors had a flood, right? All of these things. Hey, I'm looking to buy an investment property. All of those things. Now all of a sudden, that person feels obligated to pass your name on because they're on your advisory board, right? There's like 20 different different things. It doesn't cost any money. It's just a matter of setting up the right SOP and having the right thing set up. And once it's set up, it's like gold, right? And so you guys need to leverage your past clients, right? Okay. What is this? Oh, okay. I'm not going to play the video, but this is a listing that we just did not too long ago. And the point of it was that I made it easy for them. The point of it was that I had proof. And the point of it was what was the other one? Save time, yes. And so all of those things, and it was a FISBO, and I called them and I said, hey, Mr., we'll just call him Joe. Hey, Mr. Joe, I see that your home's for sale. We have a YouTube channel. We help sellers who don't know how to shoot video and get it on there, right? Now we have the listing. And it was understanding how to have a unique value proposition. All of you guys need to have a unique value proposition. If you don't know what your value proposition is, and it's not unique, then it needs to be, right? They talk about having a tilt. How many people, you like to fish? Who else likes to fish? There's a couple fish people in here. All right, so if you like to fish, anglers. And so a fish doesn't actually swim faster to go get the bug, right? He actually just makes a tilt in his fins, and he goes up and gets it, right? And so all of you guys need to have a tilt in your business. What makes you a little bit different than your competitors? What makes you guys a little bit different than the person sitting next to you? What makes you different? And leaning into that, what makes you different, okay? All right, so most people, here's the thing. You can get all the leads, but if you don't have the right follow-up system, and you don't have the right campaigns, and you don't have the right videos that can follow up with these people, here's the facts, right? The numbers are a little different depending on what platform, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you get your leads from. It doesn't the numbers are very similar. 80% of people are probably going to do nothing, right? Then there's 17% of people are going to do something in the next 8 to 12 months, right? And then there's 3% of people are going to do something in the next 60 days. And so there's a big chunk, 17%, are going to do something in the next 6 to 8 months, and you guys don't have the automated follow-up systems with the YouTube videos that people are going to just watch playlist of all your value propositions. And that's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. You guys got to be willing to pick up the phone, make a few phone calls. And what the problem is that most people forget about their why. They get into the business and they get bogged down with all the stress that comes into business, and they forget their why. And your why has to be bigger than you, because if it is, then it's going to pull you through those hard times, right? And so you got to be like, hey, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this. There's different workouts that I'll do, and I'll say for every rep, I'm giving $1 to this, nonprofit. And so when I do that, when I quit, I'm not quitting on me. I'm quitting on something that's bigger than me, right? And so when you change your mindset of like, hey, when we make sales, we're giving to this nonprofit. When we make sales, we're giving back to this organization. When we make sales, we're helping build a house for somebody, right? When we make sales, we're helping do this, right? And so when your why becomes bigger than you, that's when your business really starts to take off. Intention without massive action is an insult to the people counting on you. And you have people who are counting on you, whether it's your kids, your family, your friends, your employees. There's people who are counting on you. Okay. I didn't want to miss that one. All right, so going the extra mile, right? I think there's a lot of businesses who get burnt out. They're like, oh man, they just get tired. And so I'm training for 100 miles, and I'm so far from being able to do that right now. But I'm still training for it. And I was training for it, and I was running at like 4:50 in the morning. And we live out off of 203, and so I'm running, and we're going up this hill, and I'm like, I'm tired, it's cold, and I'm like ready to be done. And so I kind of think about stopping, but I'm listening to this motivational talk, and the guy's like, hey, there's the wolf who's on the hill, but the one who's always climbing it is the one who's always going to stay hungry, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to quit. And he talked about climbing a hill, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it. And so I kept going, and I look off to the side, I see a little flicker because I had my headlamp on. I was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, for sale by owner, cool. Take a picture, finish going to the top, run back down, call him, doesn't answer, call me back. Long story short, got another $3 million listing, all because I was willing to run the little extra mile, right? And I would have never found that. They didn't have it on Zillow. They didn't have it anywhere. He just put a sign out. It's like one of those old school guys that just like, the good old boys, American flag, cowboy boots, spitting, all that good stuff. And we got some of those cowboys here, which is cool. So, all right. So YouTube, a lot of you guys came here for this. So YouTube is the biggest search engine. It's owned by Google. It's a game changer if you're not using it. TubeBuddy is one of the platforms that we use to help our videos rank higher. It helps you figure out, and I'll give you guys a link to this and all the material that I have for you guys. So there'll be a link for the TubeBuddy, but the TubeBuddy basically helps you figure out, okay, what are people actually searching? You can make the most amazing video, but if no one's searching for that video, then you're missing it. Right? It's like you're trying to sell someone something and you're not listening. That's the biggest problem with people sometimes, is that they just want to sell their product and they're not listening. They don't have a pulse on what the market actually wants. They're like, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, versus saying, hey, what's the biggest pain point in your business? What's the rock in your shoe? How can I help? When you ask those types of questions, then you know what type of videos you should make. All the questions that your clients have asked you this week and last week, or even just today, those are questions that could be a video, right? And when someone asks that question, you're like, hey, here's the answer, but I also have a great video that goes into that, right? And now all of a sudden they watch your video. Now all of a sudden it's on a playlist, and they watch the next video, and they watch the next video, and now they're consumed, and you didn't spend an hour and a half on the phone trying to get a sale or passing off to your sales guy. Like, it did it for you. So TubeBuddy helps you evaluate thumbnails, which is also another big component of YouTube, and then your titles. Those are like the two big things, right? If your videos suck, but you have the right thumbnail, and if your videos suck, that's okay. You can have the right title, thumbnail, and value in your video, and it can be shot with your phone, and you're going to have success. I'm not going to play this. This is just one of our videos. 5 reasons you should move to Durango. We just started 2 channels, so I have the basically the Kyle Kunkel. It's more for like real estate coaching and consulting, which is a lot of the stuff that I'm teaching you guys today, is what I've been teaching to agents all across the country. And then I have a specific Durango page now, because we're going to be growing our team here because of all the leads that we're getting. So teach, right? Some of the best YouTube people or business owners are just great educators. Some of them used to be former educators. If you're in sales, which all of you are at some degree, it is educating you, educate. And so I want to encourage you guys, when your videos can be educational, not just like, hey, look at me, but when you're adding value, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, that's the game changer, okay? So here's what it is. It's hook, retain, reward. You got to have the right hook. You got to make sure that you're retaining that person with your value, and you're giving them some type of reward. They watched your video and they got something out of it that will make their life better, right? Maybe they're trying to buy a car from Gino, and so the hook is like, hey, you want to know how to not get stuck in the snow? Do, right? Here's the car, here's the value. And if you come check us out, we'll make sure we give you 5% off. Or, hey, make sure you save this video and share it with a friend. You have some type of CTA, call to action, right? So hook, retain, reward. That's kind of the formula. The 3 types of hooks, right? These 3 types of hooks are what we use, right? So you have a list, right? So 3 hooks that will go viral. That's a list. 3 cars that will sell, or 3 cars that can go fast. All of those. So how I create YouTube videos in 7 steps, right? So these are all types of like the steps that you give people. That's also a hook. And then stories. Storytelling has been around forever, and stories is one of the best things that I love doing. And I'll give an example right now. So my daughter, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and she always likes to crawl in the bed with us super early in the morning. And I get up around that time sometimes, and Megan's like, hey, can you take her back to bed? And she shakes me. I don't know if your wife. My wife always tries to have serious conversations with me at night, and I'm like, does not work. Anyway, so she's like, hey, take Anaya back to bed. And so I pick up Anaya, and I take her back to bed. It's around like 4:30, and I lay her down, and she looks at me and she says, Dad, how come we have 2 arms? I'm like, 2 arms? I'm like, oh, she's asleep. And I was like, I don't know, babe. She's like, well, what if we only had 1? I'm like, I just started laughing. I was like, Anaya, I don't know. Like, if we only had 1 arm, then that would stink, right? I was like, God gave us, 2 arms. She's like, yeah, if we only had 1 arm, then we could only pick up 1 toy. And I'm like, that's true. We could only pick up 1 toy. She's like, Dad, that's why we have 2 arms, so we can pick up 2 toys. I'm like, that's right, baby. So we can pick up 2 toys. And so and in that story, I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that I did there, but I gave a lot of detail. I helped you guys trying to kind of envision that. So when you can do that for your clients, and out of everything I said today, you'll probably remember that story more than anything else I've said, right? Okay. So here's the perfect framework. I probably paid like $25,000, $30,000 for this part of this framework. I went to a Grant Cardone, Pete Vargas 10X conference, and went and learned from some of the best speakers in the world, did a speak off, and learned some of this framework. So the perfect framework to start any type of video, conversation, anything like that is an opening story. So you start with a simple opening story, and then you talk about how your story is not unique and you be relatable, right? My story is not unique. Many people struggle with this I believe statement, credibility statement, and road mapping, right? So, for example, I'll give an example. So an opening story would be one like I'll try to give one in real estate so it's related. So pretend I just told you about the running up the hill story, right? I just told you that. I was tired, looked at the sign, called the FSBO, got the listing, and I'll say my story is not unique. Many real estate agents struggle to get business, right? It's hard right now to get business in real estate. Many people struggle to get business. I believe that 2024 is going to be the best year in real estate that the U.S. has ever seen. And I'll come in and say, over the last 4 years, I've made X amount and I've doubled and tripled my business. And over the next 3 minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can get a listing, right? Simple, but it's a framework that brings people in. You bring them in with a story. You come in with being relatable, right? Not too extravagant that no one can relate to it. I believe statement is a powerful statement, credibility statement. And then the road mapping saying over the next minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 steps, another hook. You throw in another hook, and then you come with your value. Okay. The art of telling a story. So the art of telling a story is the heart, head, hands, heart. If that's all you ever remembered, you want to start with the heart, right? So you want to start with the heart, something that means something that's like, okay, I can grasp that. And then head means like knowledgeable, value. And then you come in with your hands. What are action steps that you can actually take to make your life better, whatever it is. And then you come back with the heart. So if you just did that, and if you start telling your stories like that, they're going to get a lot better, right? Like I said, I just met with Shane Steibel over at the Tribe. And I was like, man, you're a great storyteller. And this has been in his DNA and generations. He's heard stories from his grandparents and grandparents. I was like, dude, you're just like a natural storyteller. This is awesome. And he was doing all this stuff, and he had no idea he was doing it but that's how things have been passed down. If you look at who the best storyteller was, you look at Jesus, the Bible, parables, all of those things. That's why people remember them. So you want to make your stories vivid, tangible by incorporating specific details and examples. Concrete details make the narrative more relatable and memorable. Like when I said, hey, it was 4:27 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning when I picked up my daughter, right? It's like memorable. It's okay. You're given details. And then you come in with the value, right? Value. Whatever your value proposition is, however you're helping that person, right? And then your reward. Tangible takeaway, a gift. Their life improves because of what you just shared. Okay, here's how you unlock your database. This is it right here, okay? You send them your video, all right? You distribute your content, whether it's value. So you say, hey, for 6 weeks, I'm going to send 6 videos that's all value to my database. Maybe it's about fishing. Maybe it's about hunting. Maybe it's about photography. Maybe it's about the trip that you took with your kids. Maybe it's about your favorite cookie recipe. Then you sprinkle in a little bit of your business. And then on the 6th, 7th week, you throw in a survey and you say, hey, for me, I'd be like, hey, who's looking to buy? Who's looking to sell? Who's looking to invest? How much do you feel like your home is worth? For you guys, it'd be like, hey, who's looking to buy a car? Who do you feel like, do you know anyone looking to car? Do you know what your car's worth right now? Did you know that we have a service industry that can take care of X, Y, and Z, right? Now, all of a sudden, out of your 1,000-person database, you've been adding so much value. What's up, Praveen? Hi. Or Nadeem. Sorry, I always do that. I have a client named Praveen, and I always mess up his name. This is Nadeem. He owns the rug store.
I am late.
Yeah, grab lunch, man. But you come in with value, and then you unlock it with a survey, and then you, out of your 1,000-person database, now all of a sudden hey, out of these 1,000 people, I had maybe 100 of them respond, 10%. Now I can have my sales guys, or I can make 10 calls and follow up with these and say, hey, I saw that you were interested in how much your home is worth. Hey, I heard someone looking to selling their car. All of these types of things, right? All right. So 3 tips for your YouTube. Focus on SEO. Your playlist, your thumbnails, and titles are key, right? These are things that you want to focus on. Most people, when they make their SEO or when they make their YouTube channel, their SEO's off, right? They don't have any SEO built in, meaning like keywords that people are searching. I'm going to show you guys how to use AI to figure out what people are searching. and playlists, right? You got to have the right playlist, whether it's the lifestyle, whether it is in your industry. The questions that your people are asking you, these are your playlists, right? Like for building a home, it could be like, hey, how much does a home cost to build in Durango? What are the best 3 places to build in Durango? What do I need to consider before buying a house? All of those things are all value, right? And all playlists. Thumbnails are key and titles are key. So this is what I created on AI. It took me like 10 seconds, but Grant Cardone versus Jesus Christ, right? What do they have in common? I'm going to actually make a video on this. I'm super excited about this video, but this took me like a minute and a half to create. So your thumbnails, there's a tool that I'll give you in your toolkit basically to make thumbnails that will take you 5 seconds. That will be eye-catching, interesting. Our title may be different. So here's the AI stuff. All right. This is all going to be fun. It's a lot, but it's all recorded, so you guys can go back through and watch it again, okay? So story blocks, this is all B-roll. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to pay a bunch of money to a videographer to shoot video about fishing when I don't have time to do that, all right? Whatever it is. Maybe my budget's not very big. So B-roll is something that you could just do a talking head to your phone, not even to a nice camera, and maybe you're talking about roofs, and you want to talk about how these are the top 3 things that you need to know about when replacing a roof. Or, hey, these are 3 ways that you can get insurance to cover your cost of your roofs, right? Now, instead of having to go take out a drone and fly all over Durango and getting different roof shots, and it's not just boring, just your face the whole time, now you can use B-roll, right? It's a great tool. Captions. So captions is what I made my video with for some of the ad that maybe some of you guys saw. It was basically just adding captions. I shot it with my phone. I threw it into captions. It's an AI tool. It took 30 seconds, and it basically made captions for all the video. Most videos, there's stats out there. They're not watched with the sound on. So, when you can have like the camera go in and out, it does all the editing for you. It's super great. Opus clips, so that basically takes your long form. So maybe you do a podcast, maybe you do long form video, and it cuts it up in the shorts. So if you make a 10-minute video talking about your value proposition, maybe some of the client stuff that you've done, now all of a sudden that video can get cut up into a minute short each, and it takes a minute, right? Chat GPT, most of you guys probably know what that is. I'm going to show you some cool stuff.
We're old, Kyle.
We don't know what that is.
Okay, Chat GPT. There's different levels, but Chat GPT 4. I'm going to demonstrate it here in just a sec. I'm going to demonstrate it, right? Okay, let's just demonstrate it real quick because that's the best. That's the best thing I can do for you.
It'll blow your mind. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so Chat GPT is free. Okay, I'm on the edited version, but the edited version isn't going to do some of this stuff. All right, take some off. Okay, so I'm going to come on here. I'm going to type in. It's basically looks like a weird Google page. I'm going to come here and say, hey, give me the top 100 tips for buying a home in 2024. Okay. And by the way, if I can do this, I promise you guys can do this. I failed my real estate 12 times. I went over 56 in sales. I've failed, and that is what's allowed me to have success. Is just not giving up, right? So I promise you can do this. Okay. And that was just really easy. And you got to see my typing skills. All right.
It doesn't like take you to like a link. It like tells you information. It like gives you the information right there.
And it's going kind of slow right now because of the internet. But this is giving me 100 tips on how to buy a house. So it could be like, hey, what are the top 20 things someone needs to know about buying a car? What are the top 10 things that someone needs to know about installing a new carpet or new granite? What are the top? What does someone need to know when they're doing their insurance to get their all their stuff recovered when there's a flood in their house, right? What are the top things someone needs to know about when they're replacing a roof, right? This just gives you all this. I just did 100, right? I'm not going to make you guys watch this. This is too much, right? But it does it in seconds, right?
So when I write an email to an angry customer, I type in rewrite because I've got emotions, and it turns it into a masterpiece. It's amazing. It's amazing.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff. It's still working. I did this last night just to make sure it worked. So I'm going to take. I told you I'm going to teach you guys how to create content for an entire year, right? I said that in my thing, so I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to show you how easy it is. We're not going to do it because it would take like 15 minutes to be kind of boring. So I'm going to do it with like 10, right? So we're going to come in here. I'm going to copy this, right? Copy, boom. I'm going to come over here to Canva. So Canva, there's free versions or there's like a $9 version. I have the $9 version, but you don't need it to do this. Or maybe you do. It's not that much though. Anyways, so let's go to Instagram portrait. I want to make an Instagram portrait. And so I go over here and then I come over to, I typed in Colorado mountains and I really like this one. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to make some quick edits. I'm going to say, buying a home, Colorado. Hold on. What? I'm going to move. I'm going to delete these two things real quick. I'm going to say snow day. I'm going to move this up. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to come down here. This is where it gets kind of tricky. I'm going to go to bulk create, right? Bulk create. So you can upload a CSV. So if I was doing 100, I could do all 100, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to go to enter data manually. I'm going to delete this line. Delete row? Or no, column. Hold on. There we go. And then, boom. Okay. And then Command V, paste. Okay, there's my top 10 tips. I'm going to press done. I'm going to come over here and you right click. Where is it at? Where'd that go? Uh-oh. There's a certain word that it's like a, hold on, where is it at? I need those three little dots in this thing. Hold on. Maybe it's there. Okay. No. Okay, so there it is. Why isn't it showing up? No. All right. I don't know why it's not working. So there's usually, maybe because I got out of the bulk create, that's why. Okay. Canva's weird. Sorry. I didn't want to do all this because it's kind of boring, but it is fairly easy. Okay, so right click an element in your page. Okay, there's my element. Connect data. Name, because that's what it's titled. Okay, so now let's just go like that. Continue. Generate. All right. I should have made it white text or I don't know, but there it is, right? So it's got budget, wisely determine I can make it fit better into the white space, but this is just for the sake of this. But it gave me 10 posts for your next 10 days. That's all about buying a home in Colorado. Research first, time buyer programs. These can afford favorable terms and assistance. Understand all costs. So maybe you want to give car tips, roof tips, building home tips, racing cars tips, whatever you want to give away value-wise, ChatGPT can make you 365 tips, and then you can schedule it out. This will probably take you 30 minutes, and then you never have to worry about posting on any social media because you hate social media so much, right? All right. There it is. Boom. Okay. So that's just like a fun thing with ChatGPT. The game changer stuff is going to be at the end of this. So I'll show you some prompts. So you're going to have all this in your video, in the notes that I give you. But there's certain prompts. So, all right, so here's an example of one that I did. So this is what I did. I took a video from Grant Cardone, and then I took a video from another real estate coach. And there's a plug in here, right? And I show you guys how to do the plug. I'm not going to go over it, so we're not here super bored. But there's different plugs that you can use. So AI Video Summarizer, if you don't want to watch someone's video, but you want to know all the tips out of it, you can click this little plug-in, and it can give you all of the details on what that video was about, right? Yeah, it's basically filters. So what's trending? Maybe you want to figure out what's trending in your industry, and you want to say, hey, what's trending in the car industry? Boom. It'll give you articles. It'll give you notes. It'll give you videos. It'll give you all kinds of stuff. SEO app. Maybe you want to figure out how your website's doing with your SEO, right? So you plug in your website with the SEO app. These are all plugins, and I show you guys on that template that I give you how to install the plugins. And then link reader. Maybe there's a great article, but you don't want to read it. Yes.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt your thought.
Oh, maybe you want to read the link, and so all of a sudden you plug it in there, and it'll give you all the details on whatever New York Times talked about today, right?
Is this the free version or is this the paid version?
So these plugins, it's not free. It's $20 a month, right? But if your time is worth $20 a month, then it is for me. So I installed this. But just to get that information, you don't. So I'll give you a free example.
ChatGPT 4.0.
Say again?
This is ChatGPT 4.0.
The plugins are for ChatGPT 4.0, correct. So I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I gave you guys in your cool little handout.
Are they individual plugins or you buy them in a package? Or like purchase?
They're all free, so you don't. It's not per. You pay for ChatGPT, and then you can just add whatever plugin. There's hundreds of plugins, so it just depends on what you're interested in.
I make music, so I get a lot of plugins. I didn't really
Yeah, so you could. All right, here. Look, AI Tool has its own folder because. All right, so these are all the plugins. These are my favorite plugins that I use that I think could be game changer for you guys. So I'll walk you through step by step on how to do them. I'm not going to do all of them, but I am going to show you some of them. So here's the plugins for the video. Basically, so I did a Tom Ferry and Grant Cardone. I combined the videos, and I asked ChatGPT afterwards to give me 5 scripts on what videos I should make. So here's a perfect example. So this is my favorite thing. So here's the framework. So here's the framework, 4 topics. So I said faith, family, fitness, real estate, because that kind of describes the things that I enjoy. I talked about my audience, describing your ideal audience. So understanding who your avatar is. I talked about the affluent man who wants to buy a second home in Durango and wants to cover up their status with material because of their insecurities, because that's what is out there. Content goal, create a video that gives value and attracts clients to buy a home to sell real estate. So whatever your content goal, if your goal is to sell more homes, sell more cars, sell more whatever you're trying to sell, this is where you want to put in the sell stuff. And the writing style. And then this is what you'll copy and paste, right? So you copy and paste this. You'll say, using this information above, create a 1-month marketing plan specializing in real estate. So whatever your industry is, targeting my ideal client avatar, which is up there, right? Your audience. So that's your avatar. break it down week by week and list out the specific days and times to post for each video based on the best times each day to post. Create one video a week and create a content ideas to post in between. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. So you guys just need to plug in 4 topics. So for Noah, it'd be fishing, hockey, or sports, family, and flood restoration, right? So that's what you type in. You type in who your audience is. You can say affluent homeowners. Content goal would be to create value propositions for people who are going, who want to mitigate or don't want to figure out how not to have their pipes burst. Writing style, you copy and paste this, just put in restoration. Okay, so now we go to ChatGPT. This can be done on the free version. I go here, boom, type that in, and I press send, and now all of a sudden it's going to make me a 1-month marketing plan with every single thing video that I want to do. Okay, so all because I gave it the right actions, right? People use ChatGPT and they get so confused because they don't say who their avatar is, who their ideal client is. They don't say what their value proposition is. They don't tell it what to do, all of those things. So if you're like, man, I'm struggling figuring out what to make content on, there's no more struggle. This is going to tell you what's trending, what you should make content on, ideas, value propositions. So,
Okay, may I interrupt?
yes.
So, I get ChatGPT, I get that. Now you said create a video, but this isn't creating a video, this is creating a calendar.
This is creating a calendar with the content to create the video. I can't press play for you to do the video. There is AI out there where you can give, it's a prompt. It's called Envoy, something like that, and where you can type in, hey, make me a video on rugs or high-end furnishings, right? And make me a video with this detail, right? Make me 10 videos with this detail, and you plug that in, and it'll give you B-roll and make videos for you with some lady from Australia with the voiceover. Okay, so that does exist. I don't have time to go over that, but that is a thing. So if you're like, man, I don't want to shoot a video because I don't like to, then there is that. But I will say that when you're branding, it's important for you to be on there, right? For your face to be on there, for you to say, for people to get to know you, know your personality, your value proposition, that you care, all of those things. So I think it's important for you to be on there for, even if it's just a second, or even if it is just your voice, right? Because here's the thing, people since COVID, right? People are longing for real interaction. That's why you guys are here today, right? I believe that events are going to be some of the biggest things. I'm doing 40 live events all across the country this year. And I believe events are going to be one of the biggest things in 2024 that drives business. That's why I'm doing them. Because I think being in person is going to be way more effective than some AI video, right? I think it's a tool, and I think you should use it. And I think it's a tool, and I think you should use it, right? Yes?
When you create the videos, how do you get audiences to watch it?
We'll talk about that. Okay. All right. Let me.
So do you mind just scrolling down?
Oh, go ahead. I can.
Scrolling down to see what content did it actually produce?
Great question. Okay, so week 1, Monday at 9 a.m. So I said, what are the best times to post? I said, post an introductory video on LinkedIn and Facebook, discuss the unique lifestyle and investment benefits of owning a second home in Durango, Colorado. Highlight the blend of a luxury, nature, and community. Okay, on Wednesday, Instagram post featuring a high-end property in Durango with captions about the joys of having a treat away from the city, right? On 5 o'clock on Friday, blog post on the importance of work-life balance. What does that say? Subtly? See, you guys are way smarter than I am. Subtly tying in the benefits of having a second home in a place like Durango. Week 2, and it continues on, right? So, and that's like good stuff, right? That's pretty good. So now I get to go in and make a video or write a blog with that idea. It just kind of like jump started the action, right? You were going to take action. Yes. Yep. Now what you could do, and we could get into this, and this whole course is not on AI, but what I could do is I could copy this, and I could say, yeah, give me the script.
In the free version, does it save your
Yeah,
information?
it does.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wow.
Now, if you don't want to shoot the video at all, you just copy that and put it into, it's like Voy. I'll throw it on the link because it is a Google page, but I'll throw it on the link. It's like Voy or something like that. And you throw it in there, it can make the video for you. So I could take this entire script, have a voiceover, all of it, and it's all done for me. And I don't even have to shoot the video. Now, would I do that? No, because I enjoy creating content. And I think there's a lot of value in that.
You do for like certain types of
It's still typing. So with these plugins, there's more in here. I'm not going to go over them. I think you guys see the value in what this can do for your business. But we just created content, basically not in a year, but we just did the next week, right? In a couple minutes. I didn't demonstrate this, but this walks you through how to analyze videos with putting in the right prompts. This is what we just did right here, helping you create a week's worth of content. Okay, here's a great example. Maybe you have a sales page and you want to say, so you can use these names. These are all great names, but you give ChatGPT a role and you say, imagine if you are Russell. This is how you get free consulting from people who would charge you $100,000, right? Okay, so Russell would probably charge you $100,000 for this one little bit. You say, imagine if you're Russell Brunson and I just paid you $100,000 to give me advice on my sales letter. What would you change? Sorry, my writing's a little off. What would you change? What would you recommend? What would you improve or make more clear? On a nano level, what tweaks would you make to ensure the highest possible conversion? Okay, now you get that into ChatGPT. I attached my sales letter. Now all of a sudden it gives me a new letter. I copy that to a second page on just a Google Drive, right? Say second page, whatever. And then you swap out, instead of Russell Brunson, you put in Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone would probably charge you like $2 million, right? And then you come in and you say, hey, combine these two sales letter and give me the ultimate sales letter. Boom, done in seconds. Okay, so if you have sales letters, sales copy is actually a really hard thing and it's a craft. But if you're in any industry, you should have a sales letter that people can go through and read, right? If you saw my landing page for this event, that was a sales letter. Right? There's a lot of information. Some of you guys are like, it's too much. I'm just going to go. Some of you guys probably read a lot of it. Okay. These are all other tools that you guys can use. So link reader, SEO app, what's trending, Craftful. Those are all apps, or those are all plugins that you can use. And then here's additional tools that I talked about earlier. So it's all here, and I'll add a few others. But this could keep you busy for a while. Okay.
So that's in the documents.
That's in the documents, yep, that you guys will have. Okay. I want to keep going here, guys. Okay. There's supposed to be a QR code. These are all the gifts. I'm going to give you guys that at the end. So real AI. So how am I using AI? So AI, that was fun stuff, right? There's like real AI stuff out there. And what I'm talking about is anytime someone types in on Google or any real platform and says buying a house in Durango, Colorado, I will now instantly get their information. It will go directly to my CRM, and it will go to my CRM, and I can follow up with however I want to follow up with. It costs me $1.99. If someone goes to my page, my landing page, and does not decide to call me or register, it'll give me their phone number, their email, and their name, and their mailing address for 25 cents. Yeah, it's scary. It's real, right? But it's a game changer. And so I'm bringing that to you guys, right? And I'm going to be able to share with you guys how you guys can partner with me in being able to use this incredible tool that's game changing. I believe, I truly believe, in the next year, I will be the #1 real estate agent in this town with this tool and with the right team. And so I'm looking for the right people. So if you know anyone, let them know. So I'm excited because it's a game changer thing. And for your industry, so there's a book called Blue Oceans, right? Write it down. It's a great book. And it talks about being different. It's kind of like that whole tilt thing. And what happens is there's a lot of people out there who it's like red oceans is like where the sharks live, right? Like everybody's trying to do the same thing and compete on the same level. And it's just bloody water, and not everybody's getting a piece of the pie, right? But when you're over here in blue oceans and you're just so unique and everything's so different, it's all for you, right? And so the businesses that I partner with, I want you to be the number one in your industry. I think you could buy up the rest of your competition, right? That's what I truly believe. Okay. OPP, other people's platforms, right? You guys have all heard of other people's money when you're buying real estate. That's how we did the 31 units. We found investors. We found people who were interested in investing in real estate and get a return on their investment that's 20% or more, and they get the tax write-offs and all those types of things. So that's all fun to do. Other people's platforms or other people's money, but other people's platforms, I believe, can make you more money. And what I mean by that is leveraging relationships. So I've gone on some podcasts this year that have been a ton of fun. We've been on one with David Meltzer. It's worth over 100 million. He's lost 100 million, got 100 million. Ryan Pineda with Wealthy Way. That was a lot of fun. He's a young YouTube kid who's doing a lot of real estate stuff in Las Vegas and just absolutely crushing it. I've gotten several clients from that just by being on the show and them reaching out to me organically saying, hey, I want you to coach me. All of those things. So when you leverage other people's platforms, it's a game changer. And you guys all have people in your industry or that are clients or that are friends, whatever those are, and you can leverage their platform. Like when I go out and I sit with a lender and the lender says, hey, these are the top things that, and the lender will say, I don't know what the market's doing, but the rates are going down and I think things are going to be okay. And I'll say, great. And then I'll say, hey, let's make a quick video at the end of this. And I'll shoot a video and that lender will give me, the top 3 things that interest rates are doing. And then I'll post that video and I'll tag them. And now all of a sudden I leverage I did him a favor, right? Because now everybody in my sphere of influence, if I really wanted to do him a favor, I'd pay like 10, 15 bucks a day for a week and just get it blasted out there, right? And now all of a sudden it's like, dude, this guy's giving me a lot of value, right? Because value, and you reap what you sow, right? If you put rocks in the ground, you're probably going to get rocks back. But if you put like a seed, if you put good, if you put love, that's what you're going to end up getting back, right? So I want to encourage you guys to think about that. So value. And then all of a sudden, he shares it with his database, right? Or he shares it on his Facebook. Now I'm leveraging his platform, okay? So it's as easy as doing a Facebook Live with one other person. You can go as high as, going on big stages and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that, but it is something that you can do. So, so here's our podcast, barefruitshow.com. You can check it out. We've had some great guests on there. We've been on some great shows. Living in Durango podcast, we've shot 6 episodes, actually more than that, but it's not officially released yet. So my goal is I would love for all of you guys to be on that podcast, right? Because I think with our database of 3,000 subscribers, I think people seeing you and hearing your story and helping you tell your story is going to be very valuable, okay? All right, if you want to start your own podcast, I threw this in there. It doesn't cost a lot. So here's the thing. Okay, YouTube is free. Podcasts, $100, right? Like these are all very low cost to get into. Okay, so Riverside is what I'm actually recording this on. It's just a very clean way to get a high definition video. So if you want to do a podcast and you got a big builder friend in Florida and you want to hear his story and you want to help leverage his platform for clients coming from Florida, then all of a sudden maybe he's too busy, but he can be on his phone. If he's on his phone, it's going to come back high definition, okay? Buzzsprout, so Buzzsprout puts it on all the platforms, Apple, all that stuff. Podpage is a clean way to have a nice, clean website. It's very cheap, but it makes it seem more professional than just like having it sit nowhere, okay? Instagram, so how we grew our content is king, but basically what we did was we took our podcast, cut it up into shorts with the AI tools, took less than a minute, and we just posted a lot of content, and it's value. That's all we've done. So Durango Lifestyle Newsletter. So we have a weekly newsletter that goes out to our database, 3,000 affluent subscribers. For those of you who know, I used to be in the magazine business, and that went to Edgemont, Dalton, Glacier, and kind of that whole corridor. I have all their emails. I have all their numbers. I have all their information. And I've been sending them stuff, right? And they haven't unsubscribed. Some of them have, but they haven't. And now they're starting to get our newsletter. So there's that. Our podcast will go on that. And then Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, live, all of those things. So when you shoot, there's a couple. Here's how podcasts work really great is that you don't have to do a ton of editing. It's really nice because it's organic. Like people that's why you guys listen to Joe Rogan for like an hour, or you listen to, whatever his name is for 2 hours. What's his name? He's like a health guy. Going blank. But anyways, people listen to that because it's organic. It's real. It's just like there's no filter on it. And so people like that. And so that's why when you go through and you see a podcast that's all edited, it's just too much, right? Okay, new construction funnel. This is what we used. So funnels. Actually, let's stand up and just like do a couple jumping jacks, I think. Yeah, everybody stand up. We're almost done, guys. All right, let's do 5 jumping jacks. All right, 5 jumping jacks. Ready, go. 1. All right. Get the heart pumping a little bit. Okay. All right, so new construction funnel. So Facebook funnel. Funnel is just a fancy word for sales. That's all it is, right? You guys have been running funnels forever, right? If you've been in business, you've been running funnels forever. Now it's just got a fancy word for it. But you get the idea. You got the top of funnel, and they kind of come down through the system, right? And that's how I do my webinars that I do live. They see my ad, then they see me again, and then they're like, okay, I guess I'll register for that. And then they come to my webinar. They come to my webinar. I give value. Then they set up a strategy call, and then they come and partner with us, and I coach them. So that's kind of how that goes, right? Same type of thing. So anybody saw my ad on Facebook? A few of you guys? Cool. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's called omnipresence, right? So you guys can have that same thing. I did a lot of different things. I'm not sure what you saw, but I okay, so it's Facebook. You saw Facebook. Some of you guys came through relationship. I called you. I said, hey, I think you should be here. Put up flyers. I kind of did a little bit of everything. Now I'm going to go back and see, like, okay, because I can see where you guys came from, and I can be like, okay, this worked, this worked, this worked, this worked, this didn't work. Okay, but new construction funnel is just a funnel that we use to attract clients who are looking to build a house, right? And that's how we've grown. Like we've run this funnel for agents, and they've gone and made $200,000-$300,000 just from this one funnel in different markets. Not here, but they're a new agent, and they use this new construction funnel, and they use YouTube, and they make a lot of money with it, right? But it's all based on having the right script, having the right value, having the right follow-up systems, using YouTube. So you'll see that funnels and YouTube really go together. So I did YouTube by myself for a long time, and it sucked. I just made a bunch of videos and didn't get any business from it. It was like, dude, what am I doing? And then I was like, man, you just need to couple it with the right value proposition, have the right follow-up, have actually a call to action, have someone, when they want to know more information, have a good place for them to go, and they can kind of come down through the system. Now I get organic stuff all the time. So they kind of start to work both, right? So you got your funnel that as soon as you turn it on, you'll get business within 48 hours. And then you have your YouTube, which is kind of like the long play, but you really use it to follow up with your leads that come into your system, okay? All right, so here's your frameworks for your ad. I actually gave you a printout of my ad that I used for this webinar to get people in the room, right? So people came into the room from my funnel, from my Facebook ad. So you guys are welcome to use it and however you want, right? But you want to have a call out, say, so like I said, hey, attention business owners in Durango, right? So you're calling out your avatar. Maybe you're saying, attention second home owners in Durango, Colorado. Attention, I don't know. Attention people who want a new car. Attention, like whatever it is, whatever your avatar is. Attention people considering. Attention whatever type of business you're in. Attention. Then you come in with your value proposition, right? learn how to double your business. That was my value proposition. I believe if you implement just one of the things that I said, I believe that you can double and triple your business, right? So value proposition, and then you come in with scarcity. I said I only had 50 spots. I was very ambitious. I think we got about 25, 28 people here, which is great for such a short event. So I'm excited about that. But the scarcity, you want to come with scarcity. So let's say attention moms. So I'm coming up with this on the spot. But attention moms looking for that new car for your family. We have 2 perfect cars for families right now, this car and this car, and we only have 3 of them left, right? So you come in with a scarcity and you come in with a timeline. If you respond, if you come and see us by whatever date, we'll make sure to give you 10% off, right? Right, Gino? No. And so you come, so it's figuring out what that is. So it's understanding. You're calling out your avatar, you're coming in with your value proposition, you're giving scarcity, and you're giving a timeline. That's how Facebook ads work, right? That's what you want to run. Okay. Here's my ad copy, just to show you guys. So I say, attention Durango, Colorado business owners, want to learn how to double and triple your business with YouTube, AI, and funnels. We're invited for a free workshop. We'll show you exactly what we do, get all of this stuff. Here's this is who it's not for, right? If you want to call out who you're not trying to track, do it, because then you're just wasting your time and their time. So if you're like, hey, I'm not trying to save business owners who are drowning, right? Because if you ever tried to save someone that's drowning, then you end up drowning too, right? So you got to figure out, hey, I'm looking for businesses who want to double and triple their business, who are hungry, humble, smart, like all of those things, right? That's what I'm looking for. Okay. And then I come in, PS, if you know a business owner. So maybe, and the reason why I said PS is because how I ran this ad was I ran it to a very broad audience. It was like all of Durango, not just specific business owners. I ran a separate ad for that. And so I was saying, hey, if you know a business owner, forward this on to them. Okay. PS, I'll give you Create a Millionaire Mindset, course for the first 50 attendees. Tap the button, and I had a call to action, what to do. But I gave scarcity. I had a gift, all of those things, right? So it was all embedded into this. Your ad does not have to be this long, your copy. It could be very short, right? It could literally just be what we just talked about. It could literally just be those 4 things, like 4 sentences, and that's it. Okay. All right, landing pages. So this is so here's the problem that most businesses have. They send them to, and I sent you guys to my Eventbrite because of based on how we ran this ad. If I had more time, I would have set up a different landing page. So most of the problem is business owners just sending them to their website and there's too much information, right? It's like, do this, there's this. But if it's like, no, I'm going to send you to one simple place with a call to action that will get them to register. Because once they register, now I have their information. And if they decide to show up or not show up, I still have their information. Because all you guys, if you don't know it or don't know it, if you're building you guys are all in database marketing. You just got to think like, okay, you got to figure out, okay, this client registered because they were interested. And now maybe they don't buy for 12 months, but they're in my database. Now, if you don't do anything with it, then that's a shame. But if you're sending them weekly videos and value propositions, and now they're following you on Facebook, and now you have their information so you can do a special ad on Facebook to retarget that person, and now they see you everywhere. And now all of a sudden they're constantly seeing your value proposition. Then they go back to your landing page and be like, man, when I want to buy that car, I'm going to go talk to Gino because I've seen all their stuff, right? Here's the thing, guys. I know you've done this. You've clicked on something on your Facebook or Instagram. Now, then all of a sudden you see them everywhere, right? That's yeah, same thing. Yeah, same thing. So, but landing page, I think I have mine here. This is for my real estate coaching and consulting. So how to put 100K in the bank in 100 days. I talk about all these types of things. Same stuff that I'm teaching you guys, how to get luxury listings, the secret to becoming a celebrity agent, how to use YouTube and AI and all this stuff. So this is what someone comes to. It's very simple. I get a ton of people who register every week and have no idea who I am, right? But they show up because they have some type of pain point. And if you figure out what people's pain points are, if you talk to your clients, if you survey your database, you're going to know what their pain points are. You're going to figure out, hey, they can't buy a new car right now because of financing. Hey, they haven't used our service shop because they don't know about it. Hey, they haven't built a new home because they can't find the right land. Hey, whatever it is, right? So people got pain points. You just got to figure out how to unlock those, okay? But you send them somewhere simple. You don't make it complicated. All right, so video. I talked about the value of video and what it can do for your business. It leverages your time. It leverages everything. Like when you decide to go on vacation to be with your family, your videos can be working for you. Your value propositions can be working for you. Your ads can be working for you. Your YouTube can be working for you. Eventually, YouTube, if you get good at it, or just like you just add so much value, eventually people are going to come knocking on your door saying, hey, how do you do what you do? Right? Or you're just, people are going to start following your page to try to imitate you. And then all of a sudden, you start getting paid by YouTube, and you got a second stream of income because you're creating value for your business, right? So YouTube is a powerful tool. I said it was the second biggest search engine owned by Google. So who thinks they could be doing a better job of growing their business with social media and everything I talked about? I could put my hands up. I know I could, right? So here's what I got for you guys. So let me ask you guys a question. If my team was willing to help you get more leads, would you want our help, right? For those of you who are saying yes, there's good news and bad news. So let's start with the bad news. The plan still requires work. I could give you all of our scripts, all of our blueprints, all of our funnels, all of our AI stuff, exactly what videos to shoot and what videos not to shoot, all of that stuff. But unless you're willing to press play or make a phone call or follow up with your leads, then it doesn't mean anything, right? But, and I just said this, but do you mind setting up an ad or pressing play if it doubled and tripled your business? So some of this may take a little bit of time to set up, but once it's set up, it's off to the races, right? So if you want to create freedom, here's the good news. Whether you're a new business or you want to build your team or want to expand into new areas, we can help you guys. In fact, what if I said we could just partner with you guys, literally help create a plan that gives you systems, training, mentoring, and coaching. Imagine every time you get stuck, we just jump on a call and get you guys stuck. Want more sales? Want to double and triple your business? How about be the most when people think of your industry, the affluent think of you, right? They're the ones sharing your name. They're the ones at Glacier and Dalton and Edgemont saying, hey, you need to work with these people, okay? Do you need to overcome the fear of overthinking? If you're thinking, can I really do this? The answer is yes, we got you. Want to get more affluent clients? Not a problem. We'll give you all of our scripts, blueprints, systems we use to do this. Want to double and triple your business? Not a problem. Let us help you. Imagine no more fear of living paycheck to paycheck and wondering, hey, where's your next lead coming from? Where's your next closing coming from? Where's your next sale coming from, right? Instantly having access to every system, tool, and process we've ever created. The result would be you take a quantum leap in your business and your life. You would not be stuck. You know exactly what to do. You would never have to wonder, how am I going to pay for that vacation? How am I going to pay for that kid's college? You know exactly what to do. You'd be trained with a team of rock stars to help you. You'd be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Are you interested? Wondering how this would even work? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. We're partnering with businesses owners. When we partner, we start with maximizing what you're already doing. Hey, we figure out what's working and what's not working, because that's really the key. Like if something's working, like we should double down on it. If something's not working, then we should stop doing it, right? I just said all that. The formula is really simple. We say, hey, this is where I want to be in the next 36 months. And then we accelerate the process, because that's what happens when you use AI, videos, and some of these tools I'm going to share with you here in just a little bit, okay? If you meet our criteria, here's what we'll do. We'll set up a strategy call, and we'll start figuring out what works and what doesn't work. We'll create a lead generation model. We'll do the math. We'll reverse engineer. Hey, you want to make $1 million this year? Hey, I want to make $20 million this year. Hey, I want to make $100 million this year. Hey, I want to retire my wife, whatever your goals are, right? Everybody has different goals, so we'll figure out how to get you there. Review your options to partner, grow a team, and expand your business. So who is this for, right? Those who understand the value of systems and process, and understand values and systems and can follow a process, care about their clients and the level of expertise that you're giving your clients, committed to learning and growing, want a higher standard of coaching and learning and training, leveraging the power of marketing, lead generation, AI, YouTube, all the things I just spoke about. Those who are humble, hungry, and smart, not so busy that you can't afford to spend time with me and my team. So what we're offering to do is partner with like-minded business owners and help them grow their business. One of the most common questions I get, do you help businesses like me, right? And the answer is yes, we help businesses just like you guys. And if you I work with people just like you guys to create freedom. And here's the AI tool, right? I mentioned it a little bit earlier, right? So anytime someone types in on Google and they say cars in Durango, remodeling my house, new construction, furnishing my home, whatever it is, it could be a flood, right? Flood in my house. Whatever people type in on Google, we're instantly going to have that information, and it can be texted right to you or your sales team, right? So you're adding, and then you got to follow up with them. You got to give them value. You got to give them the videos, and you got to have the follow up, and that's called the traction-based marketing, right? When you get a lead that comes into your system and you send them value and you send them more value, they're going to call you, right? I'm not going to show you how I have it all set up, because we're running a little bit short. But what I want to do is ask this question. And here's the thing. Don't worry. You don't need to pay like $100,000. Some of the clients I've worked with are paying me $20,000. I've personally spent like $150,000 in the last probably like 15 months to learn some of this stuff. And because I'm like, I want to know. Because I'm doubling down on learning from the best. Like I think some of you guys saw my video. I went to the speaking conference about a year ago in Miami, and I was at the Miami Turnberry, and it was with Grant Cardone and Pete Vargas, and I got invited. I won my way in, and I ended up losing, and I was devastated. I was broken. I'm super competitive, one, and two, I'm like, man, like I felt like I was better than some of the people that got pushed through. And so I'm pretty bummed. And if I think just like many of you guys have been bummed when you've lost or something's happened in your life. Man, like this sucks. And so I was like, you know what? I told myself there's the Bourbon Steakhouse at the Turnberry Marriott. And I said, hey, I'm going to eat there if I win. But I was like, you know what? That's a poverty mindset. I'm going to eat there regardless. And so I go and eat there, and I have a great meal. It was great. It was expensive, but it was great. And I'm walking out, and I see this guy, and I'm like, Michael. And so I walk up and I say, like, Michael, like, what's up, man? And he has no idea who I am. And he's a big marketer, real estate guru guy. And I explained who I am. We have met once before at a conference, and we talked for like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, hey, Michael, like, what do I got to do for you to coach me? He's like, man, like, I don't coach people. It's just too much work. And he's like, it's just too much. And I said, well, he said, well, there's this one guy I did coach. He had to call me like 9 times. I was like, I'll call you 11 times. I was like, I'll call you as many, because I just got his number. And he had given me his number 3 years ago, and it wasn't his real number, right? And so I made sure. I said, hey, Michael, is your real number? He said, yeah. And he said, all right, meet me at the gym tomorrow at 6. So I met him at the gym. Long story short, I fly out to Puerto Rico, spend 4 or 5 days at his house in Dorado. If you don't know where that it's at, it's like the Ritz-Carlton area, like homes in there are like $30 million. It's like the ultra wealthy live there because they're avoiding taxes because they only have to pay 4% on income tax. So you have to live there for 6 months and a day. So maybe you're going to go to Puerto Rico now. I'll introduce you to a couple people. Anyways, so I learned from the best because I was willing to put myself and take risks and all of those things. So you only have to pay nothing, right? So for you to get those leads to come into your system, you only have to pay nothing if you decide to partner with us and be a vendor for our real estate clients. So it's to be a vendor is $397 a month. I've sold it to a couple of people here, and I've sold it for more. Sold it for $1,000 a month. There's some people I talk to about $5,000 a month. Don't worry, you'll get it at $397. So it's $397 because I want to grow with the right people. That's and it's only going to be available for like 5 days. And so with the vendor list, what you'll get access to is for every client that I get, you guys will be passed out. You'll be introduced to through our vendor list. Through the 3,000 subscribers, you'll be a sponsor on our newsletter. We'll feature you on a podcast. We'll help you tell your story. We'll cut your shorts up and give you access to all of the shorts. We'll do monthly masterminds via Zoom. We'll do one in-person a quarter. So it's $397 a month for that. And with that, you get the AI tool when it's released, right? So I'm thinking I'll start the first week in January, and you'll get it at cost, right? So like I said, my cost per lead is I think I said $1.99. My cost per lead for someone typing in buying real estate in Durango or whatever keywords you want is $1.99, and you'll get that same cost for whatever your industry's in. And if they go to your website, you'll get that lead for 25 cents, right? So it's access to that plus the AI tools. And this, if you don't realize what this means, like this is a game changer, right? Like tell me what some of your guys' leads cost. Like what does it cost per client to close a client? I know you know your numbers, Bob.
We wait for, right now we're waiting for folks to show up. So I'd say 40 bucks a lead. On the coatings, it's probably, you can spend $200 to $300 a lead.
Yeah. So that's what people pay for leads, right? That's crazy. That's a crazy industry, right? So to be able to get a lead at $1.99 for exactly what they typed in, that's a game changer. But here's the thing. You can get all the leads, but unless you have the right follow-up systems and the right automation and the right like people and training and coaching, it doesn't mean anything, right? You can get all the great leads, but if people don't come in and they don't if you don't follow up with them in the right way and you're not adding value in YouTube, you're going to have a way higher conversion rate when you start using YouTube and you start adding value to them through video. Okay. So that's what that is. So I want you guys to picture the day. I want you guys to picture the day that you guys are on your dream vacation with your family or with whoever's the most important person in your life, right? People in your life. You're on your dream vacation and your kids run up to you, your grandkids, your friends, and they say, like, thank you so much. We had so much fun swimming with the turtles. We had so much fun playing with the pigs, all of those things. I want you guys to picture the day your spouse turns over to you and says, thank you so much for everything you've done for our family and sacrificing and getting us to this space. I want you to picture the day where you go to your phone and you're sipping coffee, watching the sunrise, and you look and you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pipeline closing because you have all the right systems and processes set up. And you've empowered the right people to run your business, and you have the right leads. Leads does that for you, okay? All right, so if you're thinking, what is a vendor partner? I kind of just described it, but our exclusive vendor list passed out to all of our buying and selling past clients, featured on our real estate website. I forgot that one. So you'll be on our real estate website as a featured vendor, right? Monthly masterminds via Zoom, featured on our podcast, newsletter sponsors. So every weekly newsletter we send out, I'll have a little picture of whatever ad with a little bit of copy underneath with a value proposition, and hopefully you send them to the right landing page, and then all the AI leads. And the AI leads probably won't start till the end of January, but that's what it is. So to get started, it's $1,000, and then after that, it's $397 a month. And I'm only leaving this open for 5 days. You guys can share it with your friends. But after that, I'm closing it. And I don't know if I'll ever open it because I believe the people who are going to take action are going to be the people that I want to surround myself with. I also believe, and there's 100% money back guarantee. If you're like, hey, this isn't for me, I don't want to do this, that's fine. No sweat to me, right? If you also, what was I going to say? Yeah, so $397. And then once you leave, you can't come back, right? So if you're like, hey, I just want it to be the people the people who want to win and run together. That's who I want to surround myself with, right? I have people who aren't here that have already said yes. And I have people who are wanting to say yes. I just haven't told them what it is. So I'm going to have them watch this video. But I've kind of teased to it. So the right people will be in that room. And I believe the right people who are in that room are going to double and triple their business. Actually, I think if you just implement some of these things without joining us, I think you'll double and triple your business. But I do believe if you're with us in the right room, I think you'll be the best in this town, period. I really do. So here's what to do next. You guys can take a picture of this QR code, and it's going to take you there. I do have a bonus masterclass. So Bob and I were talking, and it kind of came organically, and he was like, man, how do I do some of these funnel things and YouTube stuff? He's like, that's just kind of a lot. And I was like, well, you know what? I was like, I sold it to somebody and did it for like $20,000, and it took me a lot of time, and it took away from what my focus was. And I realized I don't want to do that for just off-end businesses. And so anyways, I told him no, and I was talking to my mentor, Michael, and I was like, Michael, this guy really wants to do this. I do want to help businesses. Don't fill out that sheet yet. And so he's like, well, why don't you just offer him coaching? And he's like, you can actually, because I have the course set up for real estate agents, and real estate agents are crushing it across the country with it, with the YouTube and all the stuff, what to shoot, what not to shoot, what videos, SEO, all of that stuff. And so anyways, Bob and I were talking, and we decided that we're going to do a 90-day intensive course where it's once a week, and I'm going to basically like hold your hand through the finish line on how to get your YouTube channel set up, optimized, SEO, all that stuff, setting up your Facebook funnels, setting up your landing pages, all that stuff will be done with you, right? It won't be done for you, but it'll be done with you. If you need somebody else to do it, jump on the call for you because they're your marketing person, that's fine. But it will be a done with you process. For 90 days set up, same thing, 100% money back guarantee. If you set it up and you're like, this is a waste, that's fine. It won't be. But if it is, I'll pay you. No problem. So anyways, that's what it is. And that's $5,000. So when you're filling out it's a one-time payment of $5,000 and that's what it is. So you'll get the leads for $397. And then if you want to figure out how to follow up with the leads and have the right videos set up and all of those things, then it's a one-time payment of $5,000. And we'll help you figure out what videos to shoot, what videos not to shoot, all of that fun stuff. So get a picture of that, QR code, and then here's what I talked about, setting up that authority funnel, YouTube setup, proper SEO, optimization, value proposition, playlist, what videos to shoot and what videos not to shoot. December 24th, 12 or 11:59, it's cut off. So Christmas Eve, right? So that's what it is. So we got 5 days. And then those who make the decision today will actually get access to my editing team for free. So it's kind of a bonus for those who are wanting to do the YouTube masterclass. And you're like, hey, I don't want to find someone to do my editing. That seems like a lot. Then I'll just give you guys my group for free. If you make the decision later, it'll be at whatever cost that is. Yeah, and that's what it is. Affiliate partners, right? So you got 5 days. If you refer, it's a great affiliate program. If you refer, later Bob, if you refer 198 per vendor referred, right? So let's say that Noah refers 3 people to be on my vendor list, then I will actually pay you $198 a month, right? So if you refer 2 people in the next 5 days, you will not have to pay at all for your ads, right? It'll be completely free. And for the masterclass, it's $1,000 off. So if you refer 2 people, it's $3,000, right? So that's what I'm doing. That's for you guys. And the reason why I'm doing it such a great offer with that is because I think there's people here who want to grow, but maybe they just don't have the funds to do it, right? And so they're like, I could find 2 people to do this. I know 2 business owners that could do this, and then they can get in for free, right? So that's why I'm doing it. And one, I don't know if I'll ever make this offer again. I think I'm going to have the right people in the room that I'll never have to do another one of these events here. 1, and then 2, if I do, it'll never be this price. I mean, Bob said he's paying $40 a lead, right? So to be able to get leads for $1.50, it's a game changer, absolute game changer. So I don't know if I'll ever, I just don't know. I think it'll be too good, and my focus is going to be coaching on real estate agents. But I do want to build something here in Durango, a community of people, community of business owners that can run together, right? That can collaborate together and build something special. So that's what I got for you guys. Testimonials. Bob's seen all this. So, but here's a girl that we just started working. Oh, man. Okay. So I guess you can't hear it. I thought for some reason it was connected. I'll play it, and you guys gotta be real quiet. But I'll send you all the testimonials. I'll tell you about them. So Kristen, she just started working with us in North Carolina. She's been in the real estate business for 3 years. So I'm sharing with you guys this because it's the same framework that you're going to be working with. She started setting up our funnels just this last week, but just making that change and just some of the changes stuff in her mindset. She's actually going to be closing. She's already closed 3 deals, but she's closing 5 real estate deals this month in North Carolina. And I know people are like, real estate is slow right now. Not for Kristen, right? She's crushing it. Right. And it's all because of the mind shift. I need some water. Mind shift. That was it. Right. For her. And now she's closing her biggest month ever. Right. I think the most she's ever closed is 2 deals. Right. So that was a big one. And then okay, hold on. All right. So I'm going to send you all these. That way you're not trying to listen when it's really hard to listen. So I have 3 people on this one. One gal and I'm sharing with you the age because I'm showing you that any age can do this. There's one gal from Dallas. She's 55. She started turning on her funnels, right? And she started getting leads right away. She's like, she just turned it on. Now she's got closings. A younger girl out of, where is she out of? Houston. Same type of thing. She's got 3 closings this month. Doesn't say that in the video because the video was shot like a month ago. But she's crushing it. And then a guy from New York, been in the real estate industry for 15 years, built a lot of companies with hundreds of agents, and now he's starting to build his own thing, and he's super excited about partnering with us. So you hear that testimony. That's Louis right here. It's funny because he looks like he's Puerto Rican, and he looks like my buddy Ray, and so I call him Ray all the time. But anyways, so you guys deserve to travel with your family and your friends and not have to worry about your business. You guys deserve to write that big check, right? Not just like $100 or $1,000, but there's something that you believe in. You're like, hey, I'm writing $1 million to this nonprofit. That's what you guys deserve that. And you guys deserve the time freedom and location freedom and financial freedom. That's what you guys deserve, right? So I'm excited to partner with the right businesses. I'll leave that QR code up and answer any questions that anyone has. Yeah, you can. If the QR code's not working, just type in barefootlife.com/vendor sales, vendor-sales. Yeah, sure. And I'll also make sure I text all you guys all of the gifts, right, that I said. So you guys will get the 30 questions to help you get super clear on like what you're trying to do in your business and your life, the 1-page plan, create a millionaire mindset, the perfect calendar. So you'll get all of that. You'll get all of the AI tools, some of the YouTube stuff I'm using, all the prompts on step-by-step on how to do some of the AI stuff. So like I said, you don't need to partner with me to have success. You don't. It's all right. You could go make $100,000 tomorrow with what I just showed you. You really could, right? So, yeah. Also, if you need a videographer, right here, this man. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could email that stuff because my phone is broken and I'm using my backup phone.
Yeah.
And so, like,
I'll send you guys a text and an email. I'll send you a text and an email. Yep. And if you want my personal number, it's 970. I'll send that stuff not from my personal number, but if you want my personal number, it's 970-710-1230. 970-710-1230. That's my real number. It really is. You can call it right now. 1230. 970-710. Yeah, so this is real estate related. So I'm building a vendor list basically because I'm going to have a ton of leads and I want to introduce business owners to those leads. That is what I'm doing, right? Now for businesses, you guys will also get your own leads at cost, basically, moving forward. And for those who want to understand how to set up the funnels and the retargeting and the YouTube and all of that stuff, it's a lot of work. And so I can't just create a course because all you guys have different businesses and you would get lost. And so I don't feel ethically that I could say, hey, here's my course, go buy it. I can do that for real estate, which is what I'm doing. We call it a cash cow. I can't do that for you guys because there's different pieces of your business. Like not all of you guys have the same value proposition. And so like I said, I've tried to do this on my own and failed miserably and lost a lot. And that's when I was willing to raise my hand and say, hey, I want help, and went and found the best help in the world. So that's why there's the masterclass, is for those who want help with that. 90 days of it's not 90 days in a row. It's basically once a week, and we'll determine what that day is based on everybody's schedule. And I forgot to say, I'm capping it at 20. I only want 20 businesses, and we'll probably have 2 times that we meet with 10 businesses at a time. I don't feel like it could be done right with more than 20. For the YouTube masterclass, correct. Yep. Yeah, so there's more than 20 people in this room. I know some of you guys are together, so that's different.
It's your team.
So it's me.
Contact.
Yeah. No, it's me. I will set up the class and we'll go step by step. You'll have homework and I'll say, hey, this is what you need to do. I'll have some videos you need to follow, some of this stuff. You need to, here's how it is. I'll set up, I'll just show you real quick. So what you'll get access to is basically like our private CRM. My business partner built this out. Ty Lovato's not here. He's also a partner with us. He will, he's also doing the master class. He's in concrete. So anyways, you have all of, so basically it's a hub for marketing. So if your leads come in from YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Google, the AI, it all comes to one place. And my assistant, Brett, follows up with it. I don't know if any of you guys spoke to Brett, if you guys called that number. Did you speak to Brett? Yep. So Brett's my assistant. So anyways, whoever is in charge of your sales team, they can follow up with all the leads coming in. You have opportunities. So opportunity, and this is my real estate pipeline. So this is the onboarding. Let's do. All right, so here's our pipeline. So you get access to the pipeline where you can move people through saying, yes, they attended, they registered, they attended, they didn't attend, they filled out the survey, they scheduled the call, all of that type of stuff. And then also like building out your funnel pages. There's just a lot here, and so I didn't want to overwhelm you. But those who partner with us in the masterclass will get access to this. So.
But I was just saying that you guys would call us once a week.
No, we'll do a group coaching call. Group coaching call. I'll answer questions. If I have to spend extra time, I will. But I think that through the coaching and through like just following the processes and doing the homework, I think we can get it done. So it'll be 90 days. We'll basically set up your playlist. We'll set up your SEO. We'll set up all of your stuff. I have it right here for those who want to know exactly the scope of work. All right, so here's the scope of work. 90 days, one-on-one group coaching, getting started, committed to the coaching, setting up the authority funnel, which is the Facebook ad, handling the objections, negotiating process, scripts, sales pipeline, YouTube setup, proper SEO optimization, value proposition, discovering your avatar, playlist, what videos to shoot, what videos not to shoot, the best practices. I mean, it's all here, right? So there's a lot. But over the next 90 days, we're going to do once a week, and I'm going to show you guys. We're going to figure out the strategy because here's
Once a week for 3 months.
Yes,
Okay,
once. Sorry,
That's all right.
once a week for 3 months to help
But I get.
to get your YouTube set up, your Facebook, YouTube funnels.
Doing it ourselves.
Yes, yep. It's a done with you process. I can't press play on your camera to shoot your video, but I'll help you press play. I can.
So you edit it and then give us feedback.
Our team will edit it for you for those who sign up today.